In this video, I'm going to show you how you can turn on an option in assessments in Schoology so that students can have an assessment read aloud to them. We already looked at the immersive reader in Schoology that will read pages and discussion boards. However, that immersive reader does not currently exist in Schoology Assessments. But there is a feature that has some reading capability for your students. So let's take a look at it. So I have an assessment started here, and it is important to note that this video is specific to the bluish puzzle piece, which is the add assessment tool. As a reminder, add test quiz with that green puzzle piece is no longer supported by Schoology. We still have it turned on for our teachers because we had so many teachers with amazing resources made with that tool, but we don't teach anything new with that. So we are looking at the blue puzzle piece here. So if we go in here, I'm going to take a look. It takes me questions because I already did this. We're going to go back to setup. And under setup, you have the assessment toolbar. And there are lots of things that you can turn on or off for your students. But the one that we are looking at specifically is pretty far down the list here. Students can use text-to-speech toolbar with screen masking during attempt. And I have turned that on. As a note, if you turn this tool on, it is on for all students who take this assessment. If you only need this for one or two students and you do not want it on for all of your students, there is a way to create an assessment, make a copy of it, and individually assign assessments to certain students in your class. If you ever want help with that, Darren and I are willing to sit down with you and work with you on that. For the purpose of this video, it's on for all students, and I am going to show you some of the pitfalls of having this on for all students or having it on period, but we want to look at the positives that this can do for a student who needs an assessment read aloud. So let's preview this and see what this text-to-speech toolbar looks like. So you will see it is open up here already. By default, it's usually closed and it's sitting up here on the right-hand side. Students can grab this and move it anywhere on their screen. I just like to leave it over here on the right. And because I had it open already, it was open. So you have several different options up here that I'm going to go through with you. The first one allows you to select anywhere within the question to have the reading begin. So if I just want my options read, I can click on this first
Barcelona,
option,
Paris, Vienna, Berlin,
and it will start reading from there. If I need the whole question read, I can simply click the play button to have it begin.
What is the capital of Germany?
From the start, and it will read the question and it will read each of the answer choices. And then you have a pause button here as well. Students can, if this is on, have a limited number of languages that will be translatable, able to be translated within the assessment. So I am turning translate on, and I'm going to click on the word capital. And it's going to open up here now into German. So here are German translations for nouns for capital and also an adjective capital. If I change that to Germany and translate, it gives me the translation to Deutschland. So that is a feature up here. There are very few languages to choose from, but this could be helpful to some of our ELD learners. The next thing you have is a dictionary built in. This is where it can be tricky if you have the text-to-speech toolbar turned on for your students. It's amazing that it will read an assessment aloud to your students, but if there is anything definition-based, there's no way to toggle off tools within the text-to-speech toolbar. It's an all or nothing. So if you are needing your students to tell you what a capital is, it will define it here for you. Okay. Germany, here is a downfall. Germany Noun, a European country with Berlin as its capital city. And the question was, what is the capital of Germany? So this definition has actually given the answer to this question. So just to be aware of that as a feature of the text-to-speech toolbar. The next thing that you have that I think is pretty cool is the screen mask option. And this will help your students to really narrow in and focus a little bit more on the questions or the answer. So they can focus a bit more if it's a longer passage of reading. You can also turn on the enlarged text as it's being read, which will look like this.
What is the capital of Germany? Barcelona, Paris, Vienna, Berlin.
This is ideal if you have a student with vision issues, that it will pop that up there bigger for your students. And the last thing that you have down here is a gearbox. And the assessment will remember what you have selected. So you have some general things. You can speed up and slow down the rate of speech. You can change the color of the highlighter, how big. So that was where with the screen masking, and it enlarged the text for your students. It can go much, much larger. So if I take this up to 5 times and I turn this on, not that one, I turn this on, actually, you can double up these tools.
What is the capital of Germany? Barcelona, Paris, Vienna.
So it was much, much larger in that situation. Under translation, we don't have a lot of choices. So this text is originally in English, and I am translating it to either French, German, Italian, Portuguese, or Spanish. For our world language teachers, this is super important because if you turn this tool on and you are giving a test in German and your students are savvy, they could have the test translated into English. So just so you know that's there. And then there are some screen tools for the screen masking feature. If we go on to another question type, just to show you how this works. So this is a fill in the blank with drop downs, and each question has it, or each sentence has its own drop down. If we have this start reading,
Germany is a country located in Antarctica,
so
Asia,
it will read
Australia,
these in order.
Europe, North America, South America, Berlin, Bonn.
And then it missed this part of the sentence and it went to the next drop down. So it can be kind of tricky that you might want to teach your students how to use this select to read from button.
The capital of Germany is Berlin,
And it will continue here.
Bonn, Frankfurt, Munich, Stuttgart, Berlin, Bonn. Germany is divided into.
So it's not a perfect tool. It got a little clunky in here with this type of question. So let's look at one other type of question and see what it does here. So this is a matching question. I'm going to turn off and just let it go from the start.
Match each federal state to the correct capital city. Baden-Württemberg, Bern.
And it's slaughtering the German, so I'm going to stop there. So it is going to go down through this list, and then it would read the ones across. So this is a great tool to consider if you have students in class who maybe would benefit from having articles and things read aloud, including an assessment that you create in Schoology.